Welcome back to another episode. We are so excited to have you back with Saving a Beauty. I'm super excited for today's podcast. I think Ishmael is excited about today's podcast. And Rob, our wonderful third co-host, has a lot to say on today's podcast. So I'm going to ask the question that I know the answer to, but how is everyone's day going?
Rob, you go ahead first. I think I'll.
No, Ishmael. Please,
Ishmael,
please
how's your day?
I think I will let this do some justice.
He's wearing Toronto Maple. He's got the bullhorn.
That's the Toronto Maple Leafs goal horn.
You didn't hear that enough this year, did you?
Well, we're hearing it now, so that's all that counts now. So
why don't you play Hall and Oates while you're at it?
I mean,
you're wearing your Toronto Maple Leaf underwear right now too while you're at it, aren't you? You're wearing freaking Speedos with Toronto Maple Leafs on them.
You have to come here to find out. So
no. I don't want to cross the border for that crap. No.
Go find out for everybody.
So, how does Rob feel? We're all wondering, right?
Yes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, all right, you two be prepared because this might explode the internet, what I'm about to do. I'm going to try to remain calm as much as possible to talk about what I witnessed last night. And first thing that I have to deal with is the fact that my two co-hosts were winners last night. Carly with the number 2 pick for her little Sharks who don't deserve a number 2 pick. They don't deserve a number 2 pick. And then there's Ishmael in his tighty whitey leaf undies and shirt and hat, who last year had a chance to buy Mitch Marner jerseys on the sale rack for free, basically. He chose not to. He's not a true fan. Last year we asked Ishmael to go to Toronto Maple Leaf Square when the Leafs were in the playoffs. And Ishmael chose not to go in because he was afraid. He's not a true fan. Ishmael claims to be a Leaf fan. We all know that he's just a front runner homer. All right. Real truth here, am a Ranger fan through and through, although I'm not wearing a Ranger fan jersey tonight. No. I'm wearing my brand new Anaheim Ducky jersey with, you can't see it, but
Kreider.
The great Chris Kreider here, babies, because you know what? We trade all the good Rangers away. So tonight I'm a Duck fan as well as little Minnesota Wild. We'll talk about them later, but let's discuss what we watched last night. Okay, NHL, Gary Bettman, I hope you're listening, okay? I think the NHL is trying to be too cute. They're trying to be cuter than they want to be. And you ever hear the saying, keep it simple, stupid, the KISS principle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, there was a point when the NHL was doing that. See, I hate when teams in certain leagues tank to get the best pick in the draft. NFL is notorious for it. Whatever team wants the first pick, they'll tank their games. They don't have a draft lottery, and they get the first pick. So the NFL has a problem there, all right? The NBA, we all know how some of these teams tank because they just want to get a top pick, but at least they do have a draft lottery in the NBA, although I can't say what they do because I don't watch the NBA. Back in years past, when the NHL had a draft lottery for the worst 16 teams, they had a simple way of doing it, which to most people like myself made a lot of sense. The team with the worst record would get the most ping pong balls in a little hopper. Second worst team would get the second most ping pong balls in a hopper, and so on and so forth until we got to the 16th worst team. Throw all the balls in the hopper. Obviously, the more balls you have in there, the better chance you're going to have to get the top pick. And they would count them down 10 to 1, right? It's pretty simple. A child could understand it. My cats could understand it. That's how easy it was. And over the years, the draft has been self-explanatory. And I'm not going to whine about it. The Rangers got a number 1 pick 6 years ago during COVID with Alexis Lafreniere, which has turned out to be... But anyway, they got one. But the NHL, in all its infinite wisdom in the marketing department, said, you know what, guys? No, we need to change it up. We need to do something different because our lottery system is just so perfect, we need to fuck it up. And that's what they have done. So the last 2 years, all the powers that be, they go into this little tiny room in the beautiful Secaucus, New Jersey. By the way, I would never go to Secaucus, New Jersey if you paid me. All right? But that's where they go. They go in a little studio. You got little Gary Bettman, the commissioner there. His little crony Bill Daly is there. Some stupid lawyers from Ernst & Young are there. And then you got ESPN's John Buccigross, who I like, but you shouldn't be with them. The NHL decided, you know what, let's change up our lottery system. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn it into not who's the worst team gets the most balls. We're going to turn it into Powerball or Mega Millions. Each team, without telling anybody, any of the fans who, God, we need to know this, we're going to give them their lucky numbers. We're not going to tell anybody who their lucky numbers are, right? And then we're going to start drawing little ping pong balls out of the hopper. And each number that we draw will correspond to that team's lucky numbers. And after the fourth ball, whoever's lucky numbers have been hit, it's like winning Powerball or Mega Millions, they win the lottery. Well, here's the problem I have, NHL. You didn't tell any of the fans who were watching this debacle what the lucky numbers of each team were. So if you're a Ranger fan, you don't know if your lucky number is 1 or 6 or 10 or 11 or 15. You don't know. If you're a Shark fan, you don't know if your lucky number is 4 or 8 or 9. If you're a Maple Leaf fan, and why would you want to be? But if you're a Maple Leaf fan, you don't know if your lucky number is 6 or 8. No, we have no idea. So they keep drawing numbers one at a time, and out of the hopper the number would come, number 11 or number 2. And then they show on the scoreboard the odds of this team winning have changed, up or down, based on the numbers coming out. Then, in their infinite wisdom, right before the fourth ball, they show everybody what your odds are of winning the lottery, but do they stay live on TV? Oh, no. What do? They go to a 90-second commercial. So all the conspiracy theorists out there are thinking, okay, what's happening now while we're not watching? What are they doing? How are they going to rig this? Something's going on. Are they taking all the balls out of the hopper so that the last ball will be the Maple Leaf lucky number? We don't know because they were in commercial. We didn't see it. So we have no idea. So then they come back on. They draw the fourth number, which I believe, Ishmael, do you know what that number was? You should know it.
12.
12, of course he knows it. He's tattooing number 12 on his ass. Number 12. And lo and behold, the Maple Leafs, who weren't even supposed to get a pick this year in the top 5, suddenly have the winning pick, and they're that number 1 pick, and they will draft Gavin McKenna. But that's not bad enough, all right? I can accept that. Okay, I don't know what the fuck you did. I have no idea what's going on. I have no clue. Maple Leafs had a really bad year. You know what? Okay, they won the pick. Congratulations. They'll still try to find a way to screw it up because their GM is an idiot. All right, that's number 1. But now they say we're going to do it all over again for the second pick. So all the teams that are left go back in the hopper. And once again, they don't tell anybody what your team's lucky numbers are. And they start drawing these numbers out. 1, 2. Gary Bettman stands there with his neck like a bobblehead bobbing around like this. I don't know what the hell he's doing. They're reading off the numbers. And what was that?
I said I also caught the bobbleheading.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. So now we have 3 numbers picked out, and they keep showing the odds of each team's chances of winning. And now we're like, the fourth number's going to come out. Here it comes. Here is each team's, these are your lucky numbers, teams. If number 2 or number 6 comes, you're going to win. Okay. So Rob is there with his wife rooting on numbers, I don't even remember anymore, 9 and 4, right? And that number didn't come up. No. The number that came up was what number, Carly?
7.
7! Yes! It's amazing how my co-hosts, they know their numbers because they fucking won. So number 7 came up. And lo and behold, the San Jose Sharks, the baby Sharks, who are run very well by a decent GM, who have a very young team, who came very, very, very close to making the playoffs this year. Now, after drafting Macklin Celebrini just 2 years ago, number 1, now let's give them the number 2 pick. We won a Stanley Cup in California. Let's give it to them. Let's give the Sharks
we had the number 2 pick last year, too.
You're right. So that's 3 years. Okay, now I'm going to have a heart attack. That's 3 years in a row now. So now you have the Leafs with the 1 pick. And like I said, with John Shaker there, they'll probably trade the pick away. That's how dumb he is, right? All right, number 1. The Sharks with number 2, okay? The little Rangers, my little Rangers, fall all the way down to number 5. Okay, it's not that bad. But knowing how good my Rangers are with drafting, here's what's going to happen. In my closet over here, where I have all my hockey jerseys, about 20 years ago, when I was a wee little youngster, right? I bought myself a Manny Malhotra jersey when he was drafted #1 by the Rangers. Manny Malhotra sucked. He was the worst, one of the worst draft picks we ever had. He wandered around the NHL, played for other teams, including Vancouver, by the way. He didn't have a great career. For the last 2 years, have had garage sales at my house. I sell some of my old jerseys. I've tried to sell my Manny Malhotra jersey. Do you know that nobody wants it? But I'm going to keep it. You know why I'm going to keep it? Because guess what?
What?
Manny's son, Caleb, is projected to be one of the top picks in the draft. And don't you know the Rangers are going to pick him because they figure, we screwed up once. Let's just do it again. Let's pick the kid. So that's what's going to happen.
At least
So
you can save money on a jersey.
that's right. I'll save it. Don't have to buy a new one because lo and behold, we have a new Malhotra in the family. So I'll just keep the jersey now. So anyway, my point is, NHL, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're screwing it up. All the people I've spoken to today, either they just turned it off because they have no clue. They said, it's rigged. Doesn't matter who they pick. They're going to pick who they want to pick. And you know what? I believe it because nobody could figure this shit out anymore. I'm not happy. So get your act together and go back to the old method next year, or don't even invite me to watch because I'm not gonna. Last year you give it to the Islanders because you took their All-Star game away. We know that was rigged.
Yep.
And look what happened. They get Matthew Schaefer, who's going to be the rookie of the year.
He's outstanding.
This year you give Gavin McKenna to the Maple Leafs. And we know what's going to happen there. He'll just skate aimlessly for 15 seasons with no cup, but that's okay. He'll be there and he'll have a good time. So all in all, I'm out of breath now, and I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to let my two co-hosts gloat and glow and enjoy their moment at my expense. So, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to have a picture up here that kind of shows how this whole ball system works. I'm not sure if it'll be big enough for you guys to see it.
Must you do this?
Yeah, I just want to clarify it.
Okay. Can't wait to see this.
He's just poking holes now in your rant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you see each going up from 1 to the 216, like each team has a certain number of combinations, and the higher the pick is, the more they have combinations. So I mean, I guess that if teams knew from before, they could probably do some hacking or something. I don't know.
Ishmael, who comes up with these combinations?
I don't know. Maybe
what does this combination mean? Well, I don't understand. Oh, okay. So the Rangers have an 11.5% or whatever it is. I can't read it. If 1, 1, and 5 come up, what does that mean?
No, there are 115 combinations.
115 combinations.
Of what numbers? There's no numbers there.
Nobody knows.
It's a mystery. It's like Jimmy Hoffa. Nobody knows where he's buried. Nobody knows what the numbers are here. How do we know what the numbers are? I don't care about the combinations. Where does it show you in this little graphic that you put up on here? Where does it show you what their numbers are? How do we know? Are we supposed to guess? Are we hypothesizing here?
Automatically supposed to know.
Oh, we're supposed to automatically know. Okay, great. You know, it was funny. When they picked the numbers last night, the first number was 7. I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's Rod Gilbert, great Ranger, Hall of Famer, retired number. That's good. The second number, believe it or not, was 2. I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute. That's Brian Leach. That's good. Another retired Hall of Fame Ranger. The third number was 11. I'm thinking, oh, shit, that's Mark Messier. This is great. This is all former Ranger retired numbers. I'm like, all we need now is number 9 or number 3, and we win. And then number 12 pops up.
If you saw when after the second ball had been pulled, Seattle, which was at number 6, they had a 19% of pulling number 1 over Toronto, which had 5. It kind of changes the likelihood of pulling the number 1 overall pick as you pull the different numbers. So
I don't care. I don't know what the numbers are. What do I care what the percentage is if I don't know what your numbers are? Excuse me, unless you show me what your numbers are, I have no idea what your percentage is because I don't know what the number is. They're not telling me.
It's like winning the lottery. It's like winning the lottery without a lottery ticket. You don't know.
It's not. If they had said before the draft, if the numbers 7, 2, 11, and 12 pop up, guess what? The Leafs are going to win that combination. If numbers 1, 3, 6, and 10, they didn't tell us that.
I mean, the reason why they do that is because by the time they pick out the fourth ball, they have to like.
They go to commercial.
Yeah, no, because like when they have the fourth ball, they have to like have that dramatic in the end. Like this team needs this to pick up the draft and yeah, and
Ishmael, I don't care about drama. They don't tell anybody what
that's
the
the
balls
NHL.
are.
It's, all they do is drama.
But they don't tell you what the balls are.
because because they're like setting up for the final ball in the end.
Okay, to a final ball. So you know what? Let's skip the
But I
three
wanna
first
know the
fucking
other
numbers and
three
let's go to the
numbers.
final ball. One ball determines it all. That's it. We don't care about the first three.
One
because
ball,
we
they're
tell you-
like they're 32 teams. How can you have 10 balls for like 32 teams?
Right now, I have blue balls, but that's another story. Ishmael, if all we care about is the fourth ball, all right? Who cares about the first three balls? I don't care. It doesn't matter. All you have to say to us is, here are the numbers. If number 12 pops up, we're going to give it to Toronto. If number 6 pops up, we're going to give it to San Jose. If number 99 pops up, we'll give it to the Rangers. It doesn't matter. They're not telling you what these combinations are. We have no idea. The only people that knew what the combinations were Gary Bettman with his bobblehead neck, Bill Daly, who looks like an Oompa Loompa, and these three idiot lawyers in the corner counting down the clock till they draft
And
the
the
ball.
timekeeper.
And
I'm telling you, it's all about the drama in the end. It's all about the
It's so important. Gotta draw that ball at number 0.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
It's all about the
hated-
theatrics, the drama, you know.
See, I hated
Ishmael.
when they would pull a number and then they would wait like 30 seconds to be like, okay, timekeeper, start the clock. And I said, the clock should have already been going.
Who cares about a clock? Just pick a freaking number.
Just draw four
What
numbers
difference
right
does
off
it
the
make?
bat.
Hey, have you?
It's rigged anyway. It doesn't matter what the number is. They already decided before the show. We're gonna give the call. We're gonna give it to Toronto. Okay, I'll give it to Toronto. I think
like in case you guys didn't notice, the first three balls were like picked out in 15 seconds. The last ball was picked up after 2 minutes. So
yeah,
it's all,
because they went to commercial to take all the other balls out of the
They
sheet
had
and
to
put all
put all
number
the
12s
12s
in there.
in.
it's all about the drama and the commercial
Oh, here it goes with all
revenue.
about the drama. There's gonna be drama. I'm gonna shoot you in a minute. I'm gonna drama my ass. They went to commercial to put all number 12s in the hoppers. We got to make sure number 12 pops up. So let's make all the balls say number 12, but they don't show
No, they
us.
want to maximize on the
They
cash
had to
revenue,
give them-
man.
They're just trying to butter
What?
up Toronto so
They
they
want
don't
to
get
maximize on the cash revenue, on the ad revenue.
Let me explain something to you, Ishi. All right? Now that you got the number 1 pick, you know what that means? You know what that means, Ishi? Austin Matthews is a goner. He's out. He's gone. He ain't staying. Here's your new savior. You wasted Austin Matthews' career, so we're going to trade him away. Now let's bring in Gavin McCann. He's our new savior. He's going to bring us to the promised land because Austin Matthews couldn't do it. So bye-bye, Austin. You're gone. You're not staying. You got a no-move clause. Guess what? Austin's going to say, you know what? I won a gold medal this past year. I like how winning feels. Trade me to a team in the States. I'm not saying where he's going to go. I don't really care where he goes. He's gone.
Hey, you know, it's actually a funny thing you said that because he actually said this past, I think before the draft, that he's unsure of his future in Toronto unless there's a good, like, positive direction for the Leafs. So he
He's
actually
gone.
said, yeah, he
It's
might be.
kind
Would
of
you like me to play Hall & Oates? She's gone. I'll play that song. I'll play it right now.
Okay.
I have other songs lined up for today, but I'll go show you that song right now.
Hey.
Oh my God! So enjoy your moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting text messages last night watching the draft from Ishi. Woohoo! Yay! Say it ain't so. I'm like, oh my God! I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, I was hoping that they would
Wait,
also
I
give.
didn't do that.
I almost kicked one of my cats. What? No, I would never do that. I would never do that.
I was hoping that while they were at it, they would also give us the number 2 overall pick. So
Sure, why not? Let's
They
get them
even
all.
said they said that if it did happen and Toronto popped up,
They
that
can't.
Would,
You're not allowed.
they
Right?
would-
They'd have to
yeah,
do
they'd
it
have to start
over
over. And I'm like,
again.
just
It's a
take them off.
do-over.
Just take
It's
them
a
off.
do-over. Gary Bettman, what is wrong with you?
I
What are
did
you
love
doing?
when San Jose got called for the second round pick and they cut to Mike Greer. Mike Greer was not even smiling. He was just like straight faced and like no emotion. And I'm like, that's my guy.
NHL, your offices are in New York. You're complaining about marketing and that you want to get better ratings for your sport because you're competing as the quote-unquote fourth sport in the States, right? Don't you know that when a team in New York does well, you get better ratings, you get more eyes watching you? Case in point, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks I'm not a big basketball fan. I used to be a Knicks fan. They're playing tonight. Do you know that all of New York right now is talking about the Knicks, that they could win an NBA championship? You know what that means for ratings for the NBA, which were going down? They're going to go up. The more the Knicks win, the better the ratings are going to be. You know why? It's a New York market. New York, number one market in the U.S. Los Angeles, number two. Chicago, number three. And so on. So my thinking is, don't you want the team in New York to be good? Why would you do that? I'm not saying rig it for the Rangers, but you gave it to Toronto? A Canadian team hasn't won a cup in 33 years. Now, I know what Ishmael's going to say. We'll talk about it later on. Well, the Canadians are still in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They have a shot to win. They're the ones that won it in 93. They could do it again. The Montreal Canadiens have no shot at winning the Stanley Cup this year. I'm on record saying that, okay? And the NHL doesn't want that to happen because if the Canadian team goes into the finals, guess what happens to the ratings? They go down the tubes. Because NHL ratings for Canada will not count in the U.S., which means less eyeballs because more people in Canada are out on their farms milking cows. All right? They don't care about that in the U.S. So I just don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. But lo and behold, like I said, you dropped the ball. Shut up. You dropped the ball, NHL. So we're going to move off of the lottery now because there's more important things to talk about.
Hey, Rob.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're getting too tight there, pal.
No,
What?
I'll just have this for you just so that it could cheer you up for a bit.
Oh, great! Another sound effect. You're funny. Why don't you play the goal song while you're at it?
That's the Rangers.
It's the Ranger goal. It's the Ranger goal horn. I know what it is. I've not heard it that much lately, but I know what it is. Thank you very much. Do you know that tomorrow is the day that Ranger season ticket holders like myself, we get to renew our tickets. You know what Rob is doing tomorrow?
Not
We're going to renew. We're renewing, but we're downgrading. We're cutting our season tickets in half. No. Rob and Dad are not paying for full seasons next year. No. We've been sucked in for way too long. What's that?
So you're doing a flex plan?
I'm just going to do a half or a quarter season, one or the other. We're going to do it tomorrow. But yeah, that's what's going to happen tomorrow. So we're cutting back. So that's the story there. So why don't we move on to something more important than this stupid lottery? We'll talk about the draft in a couple of months, and we'll all see what happens. I'm still predicting that we're going to trade our draft pick now to Ottawa for Brady Tkachuk, and I'm going to stick with that until it happens.
Yeah, let's talk about how Ishmael's first round predictions came true also.
Oh yeah, let's just rub more salt.
Yeah, why don't we talk about that, Ishmael? Go ahead. Why don't you talk about it? Go ahead.
Yeah, so in case that people were watching the show from 2 weeks ago, I made predictions, and by the way, that's my cup for that.
Yeah, this is your cup.
None of our cups because none of us are in.
So we all made predictions, and Carly made it virtually, and then she couldn't be on, but that's okay. So far everyone's bracket has been broken except for mine. So thank you so much.
Of course.
And so far my bracket for this second round has been going strong. Vegas, my prediction has been going strong. Colorado and Canes, they're 2 up in this series. So far so good. I'm going well.
So if you're such a great predictor, did you put any money on any of those games
Nope.
in Vegas?
I didn't know that. I didn't know I could.
Put your money where your mouth is, big shot. If I knew I was going to win all the bets, I'd be throwing cash down in Vegas right now. I go on FanDuel or one of those betting sites and be like, here you go. No, I'm not stupid enough to do that. No. Well, congratulations that your picks are doing so well. So let Carly and I, we'll talk about the ones who we don't pick well, okay? We suck. We're terrible, all right? Why are we doing a hockey show? I don't know. So when we last were on the show, okay, we had to say goodbye to 3 teams in the first round. We had to say goodbye to Pittsburgh, we said goodbye to Ottawa, and we said goodbye to LA. They're gone, bye-bye. And we had wonderful little musical tributes to them to say goodbye to them and all that. But since our last show, we have now said goodbye to 5 more teams. So instead of me, going through each one of them and playing a song for each one of them and boring everybody, we're not going to do that. We're going to encompass them into all one lump, okay? We've had to say goodbye in the Eastern Conference to the Boston Bruins, They fought hard, but unfortunately they could not get past the juggernaut, which are the Buffalo Sabres. So Boston, they left in 6 games. The other East Coast team that also we said goodbye to, surprisingly, because speaking of predictions, they were in my final prediction to be in the finals. Well, that sucks. I'm out. We had to say goodbye to the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is now the 5th year in a row that the Tampa Bay Lightning have been eliminated in the first round. And to compound their loss, it was announced yesterday that Victor Hedman, who has been on the team for about 17 years, been there a long time, he is now, as he said, taking a step away from hockey. Now, I don't know if that means he's retiring, or he's taking a sabbatical, or he's going to Sweden for milk. I don't know what he's doing, but he is, and his loss in the playoffs was definitely noticeable. Very great series, very competitive. 5 games, I believe, or 4 or 5 games went to overtime. They were all close, 1-goal games. Very happy that Marty St. Louis was able to win. He was a good Ranger. He beat his old team, and ironically enough, and I didn't realize that, Marty St. Louis played for John Cooper. He was still coaching when St. Louis was on the team, so they have a good relationship. So we said goodbye to Boston, and we said goodbye to Tampa. Now on the West Coast, we had to say goodbye to 3 teams. We said goodbye to the new Utah Mammoth, who put up a fight. But they're a young team, and they'll be back. Great fans, but they were knocked out by the Vegas Golden Knights in 6 games. We also said goodbye, and thank God we did, to the Edmonton Oilers, because I'm just sick and tired of seeing the Edmonton Oilers and Connor McDavid whine all day long, and their fans and their little crowd in front of the arena jumping for joy with their fake Stanley Cups. Yuppie.
Excuses.
Yes, and well, guess what? You didn't make the finals this year, so 3rd time isn't a charm. You're gone. Goodbye. Maybe you'll figure it out and get a goaltender next year to maybe make a playoff situation a little bit better. We said goodbye to them. And then the last team we said goodbye to, and I honestly think it was the best series of the first round, said goodbye to the Dallas Stars. Now, I was very happy that the Dallas Stars were eliminated because I, along with Tampa Bay, picked the Minnesota Wild to finally make the Stanley Cup Finals. Not looking good right now, boys and girls, but I did pick them to make the finals. But it was a great series, very exciting, very close. And with the return of Norwegian Jesus, my boy, Matt Zuccarello, they were 3-0 with Zucchi 4-0 with Zucchi in the lineup. And they eliminated the Dallas Stars, who finally, after the last 3 years being in the conference finals, went home in the first round. So we said goodbye to all those teams. So for the 5 teams that we said goodbye to, let me just wish you a fond farewell. Yes. Goodbye, Jovi. Goodbye, all you teams. We'll see you next year. Yes, for all you rockers out there. All right, that's enough of that.
Oh my goodness, oh my damn.
You like that one way too much. You play that one every
it's
single
almost
day.
like Ishmael feels like he has to top my music and my sound effects. He's like, figures, well, if Rob can do this, I can do one better than he can.
That was a catchy song.
I mean, really, it's like a little child playing with a toy. It really is.
We gave him a drum set.
You know how parents nowadays, they give their kids phones or a tablet at a very young age and they just play with them all day long? It's like Ishmael's parents gave him sound effects and he just can't let go. He just can't. He just plays with them every day. Are you through?
Yeah.
Good, that's nice. All right, so back to the playoffs. Now that we've eliminated 8 teams, they're all gone. They're home. They're playing golf with the Rangers and the Islanders. We have 4 series left. They're all underway. We're going to talk about them. All right, we're going to get their comments and see what's going on. Let's start with the Eastern Conference. The first series that got underway in the second round, which began last Saturday, Carolina Hurricanes against Philadelphia Flyers. As we speak, during this taping of this broadcast, the Carolina Hurricanes are a perfect 6-0 in the playoffs. They have not lost a game yet, boys and girls. Now, they're up 2-0 in this series. The Flyers in the first game were non-existent. I think they were still recovering from their first round win against Pittsburgh. The last game, they played much better, brought the game to overtime, and as I said, as I watched the game, the Flyers dominated the overtime period. They had many, many chances to score that winning goal. And what always happens in a playoff game, if you get a whole bunch of chances and you don't produce, the other team's going to come down the ice and one fluky shot or fluky opportunity, they're going to score. And that's exactly what happened. Carolina came down the ice. It was a scramble in front of the net, and Taylor Hall poked it in, and the Hurricanes won Game 2 in overtime. They're now 6-0 in the playoffs, and they are now 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. It goes to Philadelphia for Game 3 tonight, and obviously the Flyers have to win tonight. They have to. It's a must-win. Yep. So, Carolina's just playing really well. They're just a good, solid team.
They play on
What's
Thursday.
that?
They play on Thursday.
Oh, I'm sorry. They don't play tonight. My bad.
No, there's only 2 games on tonight.
Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on the Carolina-Philadelphia series?
I'm honestly, the first game was just terrible. I turned it off. It was missing. The last game, again, I'm going to agree the Flyers did so much better. I just think they were tired from the series before. I just don't know if they're going to be able to make a comeback. That's what I'm kind of like thinking. I think Carolina might just have this. And I didn't have Carolina moving past the first round. So that's my opinion and thoughts.
Now, before we go to Ishmael, we of course know that Ishmael picked this one correctly before we even hear what he's going to say. Oh, I picked Carolina to win this series too, because he doesn't make any mistakes. So, go ahead, Ishmael. What do you got?
Well, I sent notes earlier to you guys, and
yes, we saw the notes. We'll get to those.
Yeah.
Don't worry, relax. Your homework will be rewarded.
Well, so of course, of course, like in my finals, I had Carolina and Colorado, of course, and of course, like I have the no for real, like I have these two juggernauts on a collision course. There, it's about time. Like the stage is just being set up for these two to meet in the finals, of course, and of course both of them are perfect. But since we're talking about the Canes right now, like this is a coming out party for Logan Stankoven, who just had an absolute breakout postseason. And of course that line that I was mentioning to you, the Logan Stankoven, Jackson Blake, Taylor Hall line, they lead the playoffs in expected goals, lead the playoffs in goals scored, and given up 0 goals in 5 versus 5 while having the most minutes. So you're talking about a well-oiled machine in offense here right now. And Freddie Anderson, 6 of 6 wins. I mean, that's been remarkable for this team. So like we always talked about how Sebastian Aho was the heart and soul of this Hurricanes. Not anymore. Like we see many more weapons on this team now.
Carolina's a very good team, very well balanced. They don't have a superstar on that team. There's not one superstar that you could say he's a superstar. There is no. They're a bunch of really good players, but they don't have a superstar. And right now, their goaltending with Freddie Anderson has been solid. So that's why they're winning. And we'll see what happens in their next game tomorrow, not Wednesday, tomorrow night. Okay. Now, the other Eastern Conference series is beginning. They're beginning tonight, and I'm really looking forward to watching this series. I really This is going to be a fun series. It goes back to the old Adams Division days when there was the Adams Division in hockey. You got the Buffalo Sabres against the Montreal Canadiens. Two great cities with great fan support. They're very close to each other, so I can see the team's fans traveling back and forth over the border. Both teams are very similar. Both teams are young. Both teams can score. Both teams have a solid young defense. Both teams' goaltending still a little suspect. Mm-hmm. I will say that Jakub Dobish, and I just like to say the name. Don't you like to say that name? Jakub Dobish. It's almost as good as saying Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, but Jakub Dobish is nice. But anyway, Jakub Dobish played very well in the first round against Tampa, and he was one of the main reasons they won. So he'll be in goal for Montreal. Now, the goaltending for Buffalo, which started with UPL, but he's out, and Alex Lyon is now the goaltender for Buffalo. Now, Alex Lyon's been a journeyman. He's played on a few teams. He was on Boston, he was on Florida, now he's in Buffalo. He was the backup. But since he's been in the lineup for the Sabres, they've been playing well, and they've been winning. So Alex is going to be your goaltender tonight. I think this series will come down to goaltending, as a matter of fact. Whichever goalie can stand on his head and play better, I think that team has a better chance to win. I think Buffalo's a little more physical than Montreal. I think Montreal's a better skating team. But other than that, they're pretty competitive. So I even forgot who I picked in the series, to be honest with you. I'm going to make another prediction. I'm going to pick the Buffalo Sabres to come out of this series in 7 games. I really think this is going to be a 7-game series, and I really think that Buffalo will have enough mojo to get past the whiny Canadian fans and get to the next round. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, I had Buffalo coming in the second round, but I had Tampa Bay coming in the second round, so I'm going to stick with Buffalo. Both teams, I think, during the first round did phenomenal. They both went to 6 to 7 games. I'm going to agree with you on goaltending. Dobish has been phenomenal, especially for like his rookie season.
You just say his name for me, please. Just say his
Dobish?
name. Just
Dobish?
say it. Jakob Dobish.
Dobish?
Just a fun name to say. It just rolls off the tongue.
So precious.
Okay.
I think both teams. I'm hoping it goes to 7 games. This might be the one series that I'm going to look forward to the most for round 2, just because I think that they're both really well stacked teams, and I think that, one, they're both hungry to make it past round 2, so I think that it's going to be a really good series, and I just think the Sabres are going to come out on top, though.
For me, I will agree that it comes down to goaltending. Dobish obviously has the edge, but I also believe that the Canadians have the edge offensively. It's been a history-making season for them offensively, and it's just the first time around for the Sabres in the postseason. The Habs have been around in the postseason in the past. Not this particular group, but they have the experience, and I think that will come for them, naturally. And playing in Bell Center is, I know the first two games are in Buffalo, but those two games will be important. Buffalo needs to get a 2-0 start, because if you let the Habs get 2-0 jump start in the series, or even 1-1 tied going into into Montreal, you're going to be at a disadvantage going into Bell Center, because that place can get rowdy as hell. For the opposite team when you're going up against the Habs.
Well, we're going to see what happens. Like I said, it should be a good series, and I'm looking forward to watching.
Start.
All right, well, I'm going to miss the beginning of it. We can end the show now if you want. I'll just go downstairs and watch. No worries. No, it's okay. We can wait. Now let's go to the Western Conference, and both series have begun. And let's start with the first one, which is already 2 games in, and I got to tell you, I'm a little disappointed right now. We got Colorado Avalanche against Minnesota Wild. Colorado, like Carolina, like the great Ishmael said a couple of minutes ago, they are also unblemished. Do you know, Ishmael, what team had the best start in the playoffs without losing a game? Do you know who that is?
Nope.
Of course not. Why would you? Carly, do you know?
No.
That would be the Edmonton Oilers in 1983. They went 10-0 at the beginning of the playoffs. 10-0. Now, it could happen with one of these teams. You never know, but Colorado's playing the Minnesota Wild. I'm looking forward to a really good long series, and I was really hoping for a split in Colorado, but unfortunately, Game 1 was a crazy game. 15 goals, back and forth, high tempo, a lot of excitement, but unfortunately, Colorado came away with a 9-6 win. Last night, I thought the game would be closer and tighter. No, it wasn't. Unfortunately, Minnesota decided to switch goalies, which I thought was a mistake. They took out Wallstedt and put in Gustafsson. I don't know why you're changing goalies in the playoffs. You pick one and you stick with it. All right? Wallstedt won you the first round. Why you're changing him after one loss, I don't know. But they did. And it didn't help because Minnesota lost, and now they're down 2-0, heading back to Minnesota for Game 3. I will say this. I picked the Wild to make the Stanley Cup Finals. My favorite all-time player is Matt Zuccarello, which I've mentioned on the show. He's on the team, and he's made a huge difference when he's played. And he's been noticeable even in this second-round series, but he can't do it alone. Kaprizov scored last night, looks good. But you got other guys on this team, Matthew Boldy, Quinn Hughes, Brock Faber. Guys got to step it up. They've they lost Eriksson Ek to an injury, and he's an important player for that team. He's out with an injury. I don't know when he's coming back, but he's a second-line center. So without him, they lose a little depth, and that might be something that they might have a hard time overcoming. But right now, you got Minnesota down 2-0, going back to Minnesota for Game 3. I think they're going to go back to Wallstedt in goal, to be honest with you, which I think is the right move, and just stick with him. And yeah, I think for Minnesota to even have a chance, they got to win both games. They can't go down 3-0 or 4 or get swept, obviously. They got to win both these games in Minnesota. And they can do it, but they got to put up this time and win these 2 games.
I was having a little bit more, I guess, hopeful going into the first game, just with the amount of goals being scored, that it was going to be a long series. And again, we're going into Game 3, so it could still turn into that. But Minnesota has just disappointed me so much. I mean, I did have the Avs pick to go to the Stanley Cup Finals playoff rounds, but I like to be proved wrong. And I was really hoping Minnesota would show up. And I just think, okay, last night's game with the amount of hits that were being handed out and everything else, I was getting so heated because I just felt like things were not unfolding as they should.
You were getting heated?
Oh, I was getting mad. Like, I was yelling at the TV.
Heated? Ooh.
Yes.
The husband was around. Anyway, go on.
He was laughing. So I'm just really hoping that going back into St. Paul that they can pull their heads out of a certain orifice and that they can actually take a win and not get swept in this series. Yeah, Minnesota needs to do something. It's been a really disappointing 2 games and it's not looking good.
Well, I wouldn't say it's not looking good, but they better get their act together for the game tomorrow night.
Put the wall back in
Mr.
net.
Winner, what do you think about Yes.
Well, I expected the Avs to come out with blazing with all these punches, but I didn't think that they would take out Wallstedt and Gustafsson with like a goal with like 7 average goals like that. I think Minnesota panicked after Wallstedt gave up 9 goals and then made the immediate switch to Gustafsson in the second game, and I think that's kind of a premature move on their part, and I think that's kind of that's something that they shouldn't have done. So I think going back to Wallstedt would be the right thing. But as far as Colorado is concerned, they're exactly as I expected them to be, and they were as advertised. Like they're the other juggernaut in the Western Conference. High scoring team. So yeah, like they're as I thought they were. So I have no qualms about them.
Well, we'll see what happens. They play tomorrow night, and like I said, here's hoping that Minnesota can get back in this series. So, almost broke the chair. I guess I'm getting too fat. Anyway, we got one series left to talk about, and that series is also underway, and it is the Vegas Golden Knights with my favorite coach of all time, the great Torts, John Tortorella, behind the bench. I love Torts. Hope he does well. But they're playing against the Baby Ducks, one of my new favorite teams here, boys and girls, the Baby Ducks, with Bennett Seneca, who was voted as one of the possibilities for Rookie of the Year. He's not going to win, but he was voted as a finalist. And I was disappointed in the first game. I thought the first game was kind of sluggish, to be honest with you, both teams. Vegas won the game 3-1, but I have to think that tonight will be game 2. I got to think tonight's game is going to have a much better pace, a lot higher pace. I think Anaheim's going to come to play tonight. I really think Anaheim's going to even the series tonight. And I believe this series is going to go long. I'm not predicting a short series. Although I'd like to see the Baby Ducks win this series, I still think that Vegas has still way too much experience. They have a lot of guys on this team. I think 18 of them, something like that, have won Stanley Cups. There's just too much experience on this team for them to lose. And now they got a good coach behind the bench who's going to teach them discipline and teach them defense. As long as they're goaltending with Carter Hart stands up and plays well, I think Vegas will probably get through this series. But I would not be surprised nor disappointed if my Baby Ducks find a way to get through this series. You guys, what are you thinking?
I'm rooting for the Ducks just because personally I hate Vegas, but I also know that Vegas has the higher chances of actually beating them on this series. I hope that the Ducks show up tonight. I hope it's not going to be like a Minnesota and Avalanche game 2-0. So I want to see the Ducks picking it back up. I want to see them scoring. I want to see them walking away with a win or at least tying it up. I want this to be a good series. So even though I think Vegas is going to walk away with it, I just hope the Ducks put up a really good fight. Are you playing with the effects now?
It's raining. Oh my God, what happened?
Oh no.
Sorry, a little bit of a shower over here. Anyway, all right.
So funny.
The rain has cleared up. It's gone. Ishmael,
Fantastic.
go.
Ishmael?
Show us some
Yeah.
board.
So
Just playing with the facts here. Go ahead, Ishmael. What's up? I'll probably play more now that you're going to talk. Go ahead, Ishmael.
okay. So obviously, the Ducks. Well, obviously, like I
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go.
Okay, so obviously, like of course, I for one am a fan of the NHL's youth movement, but of course, the Yucks, the Ducks, young, the Ducks, young.
Oh my god. Okay, back to
Okay.
finish.
The Ducks youth is kind
What
of
was
working.
that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What? Go ahead.
The Ducks youth inexperience is kind of working against them. You saw Jackson Lacombe. He had a beautiful feed from Leo Carlson, and that was one of the many shots that he kind of missed out on, and in equalizing in that game, of course. And
Rob's at a rave.
okay. And of
May
course,
the
like
force be with you, Ishmael.
okay, and of course, like once that happened, like you can see that this experience differential will obviously go going to.
He's in the sky.
It's
Oh,
a
Hail,
beautiful day in the
hail Jesus,
neighborhood.
Rob, man.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh my
Go ahead. I
god.
got to turn it off. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
Vegas' experience is gonna help them more. Go on, Rob.
No, I've kind of lost my
He's gone
train
through
of
them
thought
all.
because I'm playing with a new toy over here. So no, we're good. I agree. So all I know is we got 4 series left. I hope they all go the distance because we don't want to rush through the season. Because lo and behold, once the season is over, boys and girls, what do we have to fall back on? Baseball, and we all hate baseball here because my Mets suck, and I got nothing to watch. So I want the NHL season to go till like July. And if these series end quickly, well, then you know what? That means the season will be over, and I'll be on the golf course. Ishmael will be gloating about his Leafs all summer long, and I'll be watching Juan Soto every day.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anyway, now before we wrap up the show, we're not done yet. We're not done because the great Ishmael, besides the fact that he likes his little sound effects, what he does each week before the show, he basically gives us 2 minutes to review it, so no time to study. God forbid we get chance to study and get ready for the show. Ishmael puts together a list. It's like you're in school. We have a list of notes that Ishmael's put together, and I appreciate him doing the research and the work for it. So I don't want Ishmael to feel that we're slighting all his hard work. So Ishmael, if you'd like to pull up your list that you put together for Carly and I, and if you'd like to discuss certain things on the list, feel free to pick a subject and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one I've been looking forward to, of course, before the great news happened yesterday. The Leafs hired John Chayka
Oh
as
God.
GM, and
Oh, go ahead.
I like the
and
oh
to
god.
and to like and to like add the cherry on the shit cake, they added
What?
Throw
What?
lines.
What was that? The cherry on the shit kick?
Kick. Never.
shit cake.
I never heard that.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, must be some of my Pakistani phrase, but go ahead.
They added
By the way,
Matt.
Ishmael, I want to thank you for trying to stop the war, by the way, but go on. Continue.
Okay, they added Matt Sandin as senior advisor. So
Yes, they did. Now, what you haven't told anybody about was the shit show, not the shit kick show, the shit show that took place during the press conference on Monday when they introduced Sheikha to the Leaf fans, and one reporter, and I don't know who he was, you may know him,
From
one
the Toronto
reporter
Sun.
came to ask questions, and he basically ripped the shit out of Sheikha, basically saying, everybody thinks you suck, nobody thinks you're good, you're a loser, you're a scumbag. He just said it right to him in his face at the press conference. I've never heard that before. Ishma, do you know what I'm talking about?
I know.
Okay, so explain to me what that was all about, please.
Well, first of all, you have to realize that the owner, Toronto Maple Leafs are owned by MLSE Maple, and the owner, the president of MLSE is Keith Pelly, who's never been in charge of any hockey team or any sports. He's basically part of Rogers, which is, I think you've heard of Rogers Communications, which is basically the monopoly, the titans of monopoly companies in Canada. They basically own everything in Canada. Anything you've heard of, nothing involved in sports business. So they don't know anything about running a sports organization, but they will be in charge of a hockey team, and Keith Pelly, who is president, he hired John Chayka, who obviously, like, it was that press conference that I watched, and then I first heard of John Chayka. And John Chayka, what little I know about John, about Mr. Chayka was, last time he was working, he was with the Arizona Coyotes.
Yes,
of
he
course.
was.
Y'all see how that turned out.
And
Yeah, that didn't go
and
too
of course, like, when the Coyotes were in the playoffs for the first time, he actively seeking a job somewhere else. So his loyalties were iffy at best, and that of course that kind of cost the Coyotes two draft picks, including a first rounder.
Right.
And I would like to assume that that's what drove the Coyotes to the ground, and eventually was a precursor to them moving out of Arizona.
So that means that he's going to ground the Leafs into the ground. Ground to the ground? He's going to drive the Leafs into the ground. Is that what's going to happen?
I mean, Keith Pelly said that he did his due diligence, so
Good
I don't know
job.
what. So
He's
I don't know
definitely
what he's.
I love him. He's my favorite GM.
I mean, Keith Pelly says that the John Chayka. I mean, first of all,
he's
I'm
going
a
to
guy
draft
who.
Bugs Bunny with the #1 pick. But go ahead.
I mean, here's the thing. John Chayka says that he loves doing work and doing analytics-based research. And if you guys know me, I love the numbers and everything.
Yes,
You know.
you
We should have hired him.
Yeah, really? Why did that? Was your name on the list?
I mean, I wish it was so.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I mean,
Now we're
but.
stuck with you.
Your
But
application.
like even I will admit that not the numbers don't tell everything. I mean, if it was all that, but first of all, like, what kind of numbers was it that he saw that made him go like, okay, I'm just gonna leave the Coyotes mid playoffs and then just drive them into the ground and eventually have them leave Utah. Like, it just didn't. And I mean, I think this something has to do with, like, he was selling Wendy's somewhere. Something I didn't look up with that, but
I think you need to research this further for next week's show.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But all I know is that he drove Arizona to the ground, and
Well,
yeah.
we can all hope he does the same with Toronto, boys and girls, can't we? Let's all hope. With the #1 pick, the Toronto Maple Leafs select Matt Sundin. No, he can't play anymore. Sorry. But we'll see what happens there. I'm looking at your list, Ishmael, and some of these we've kind of talked about today, sort of. So I'm gonna skip over them. We obviously talked about the draft lottery in Colorado and Carolina being perfect and all that. But something that you have here that I find really interesting. We talked about the finalists for the Calder. We had the finalists today for the defensive forward. The Selke Trophy came up. You know about those names? Did you see the names?
I didn't see those names.
Of
No.
course not. Why would you? Well, the list is Nick Suzuki of Montreal is one. Sorelli of Tampa Bay is the second. And the third name is escaping me. Anybody know?
No, but I can look it up.
Please help me.
Possibly.
I'm struggling here. It was a first timer. I'm trying to think of who it is. Oh, geez. It wasn't Andre Kopitar. It wasn't Patrice Bergeron because he retired.
Cirelli, Nelson, Suzuki.
Brock
There
Nelson,
we
the
go.
Admiral Nelson. He's the third pick. So that's an interesting pick. Brock Nelson. I never would have thought of him as a defensive forward. Those are our three finalists for the Selkie. I don't know who's going to win that one. But one thing you have on here, Ishmael, that I think we should talk about, and this is interesting, the salary cap for this coming season has pretty much gone up about $10 million. That's a large number. That means the league is healthy, and we're starting to get up with the big boys. So the league has now gone from a $95 million salary cap to $104 million. They also have a salary floor, which means every team has to spend at least $77 million to compete. You can't just dump salaries and not sign it, but you all have to spend money. But that's a $10 million difference. And what we're going to do, maybe next week's show, Ishmael, if you want to do this, I want to find out how much salary cap room each team is now going to have based on their contracts that they have signed going into the offseason. Who has the most and who has the least amount of salary cap room. There aren't a lot of big-name free agents that are going to be out there in the offseason. A lot of them signed already, but that could dictate long-term signings. It could also dictate some trades. Like if there's a big name out there that you want on your team, Austin Matthews, for example, and you want to get him, you want to make sure you have the room on your salary cap to acquire him because he makes a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So very curious about that. That salary cap increase is a big deal. Don't all talk at once.
All right.
I wasn't sure.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, sounds like.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, sounds like a good home. Oh, okay. It's not
Okay.
4th of July yet, but I guess yeah. Let's do this. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to see. So, Ishmael, that's your assignment. I want you to let us know next week what all these salary cap numbers are for each team and who's going to have the most to spend and who's going to have the least to spend. Because I think that's going to make a big difference in the offseason as far as who does what. But I think we're about done with the show because, well, lo and behold, it's exactly 7 p.m., which means the games are about to begin. We're about to watch Montreal and Buffalo get on with it, and it's going to look... I'm actually looking forward to the reaction of the team in Buffalo when the national anthem is being sung.
By the way, I want to add one more thing.
All right, this better be good.
Okay.
Where's he? Oh, is this Ishmael's show and tell time? What are we doing here?
We brought that back.
I thought we got rid of that segment.
Okay. So you know that I was covering the AHL playoffs, right?
Yes.
I have no clue.
I knew.
So by the way, you remember that one baseball game that I went to, which we had to cancel that 1 week of the show.
Yes, the Blue Jays.
So I went to I went there and I got the Springer
We can't see it, you idiot.
George Springer bobblehead.
Nice.
Who is that?
George Springer.
George Springer. I see it. It's wonderful.
Like the jumping George Springer which happened at this game.
Jumping George Springer, who's injured every season. He's jumping all right.
So by the way, at that game, I saw Easton Cowan passing through the line at Rogers Center, and nobody noticed him except for me and my friend. Like I saw him coming through, and I was like,
I couldn't recognize him in a police lineup. I mean,
and then my friend was like, "Yo, is that Easton Cowan?" I'm like, "Yeah, you thought so too, yeah." And I was like, "That has to be." No, but here's the thing. I was supposed to cover the Toronto Marlies AHL playoffs game the following Friday, but then a senior reporter from the Hockey News got to cover it, and I couldn't, so I'm covering from home.
Well, there you go.
Sorry, you had to cover
Hopefully
it from home.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else, Ishmael? Because I want to go now. I'm very depressed today. I'm sad, and NHL's
You
a
have to
joke.
write a letter to the league about the whole lottery.
Gary Bettman, his bobbleheaded neck, and all that
Oh my
stuff.
goodness, oh my damn, oh my goodness.
You played that one last time, I believe. You're getting. You're
played it
getting
a lot.
He's running out of sound effects. At least I used to have these cute little things that I can play with now. Look at that.
This message.
We've used that one as well. See,
That's-
he's running out of
yeah.
Carly. He's running out of stuff to use.
Yeah.
All right, you have to find more sound effects for next week's show.
Yeah. I want to hear some
Yeah,
new
okay.
stuff.
Carly, you have anything else to say? Otherwise, let's just say goodbye.
I have nothing
How about
else.
this one?
Well,
How
no.
about this one?
Please.
There's
I'm gonna
nothing.
come.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
And this, folks, is where we end tonight's
Yes,
episode.
yes.
Say goodbye.
Bye. Bye-bye.